All right, time alignment part two. I went ahead and got the new tweeter pods in, even though you can't really see them because they're black. But let's go ahead and talk about time alignment. And uh, last video, we went ahead and wrote down all of our distances, and then went to the TraceRight program, traceright.com/calc, and converted our where is it? Converted our values, or my values, I should say. Yours are going to be different, into left, right, mid, sub delay in milliseconds, and you could do at least in the Helix and the 360, and I know a few others. Either delay or distance. I like delay, it just kind of works out better, but they're nice enough to give you each of your settings as you change it. Let's see if it'll focus. There you go. So as you change your milliseconds, it'll change your centimeters and inches as well, so you can just kind of take a quick glance at it. Now, I just went ahead and took the settings that the TraceRight website gave me, and Aaron and them did a great job putting that together. Right away, just entering the default values that it gave me. Nice stage, and everything was nice and centered up on the dash. But again, just because the speakers are not out of phase does not mean they're in phase. So let's go ahead and talk about that now. Go back over to main, and if we mute everything but the tweeters, we'll start working on that. Those are the easiest. There's a few different ways to make sure you can play pink noise or tones, and I don't have Rue pulled up right now, but in Rue, if you watch for your SPL level, when it's the highest, is when everything will be in phase with each other. Obviously, because the sound waves are increasing on each, or compounding on each other. That being said, I like to do it by ear. So I'll show you a little trick that I learned. I think Aaron showed it to me, so shout out to Aaron. A couple years ago, and it has worked great since then. So if you get a track that has talking on it, just regular talking, the Mecha disc or numbers, track numbers 2 and I think it's 26, work really great for this. You're going to listen to him talking, and when he's pronouncing his S's, like sibilants and stuff like that, as you move the time alignment, as you move your time alignment slider, wherever that may be on your DSP, just do it one click at a time, starting with the values that you got from the TraceRight website, and you'll notice the S's kind of go from sounding like this to sounding like this, and then hopefully I have the date mic on here still, so hopefully it will help pick it up, especially if you guys listen to it on a computer or a pair of headphones or something like that. That's a lot more detailed than just your cell phone. So I'll go ahead and play with that now, and hopefully you guys will be able to pick up on it and kind of hear what I'm hearing, and that way you know what to look for when you're doing this. So when the sounds really sibilant, and everything from like 6K to 8 or 9K get really hot and almost sounds like you have a peak in the response there, you probably will. But we'll work on that with EQ, but that means that they're in phase with each other. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, I went ahead and paused the video there just so you guys don't have to sit here listening to me playing with stuff back and forth. But I found a good where it sounds best to me, at least so far. See if you guys can kind of pick up on this a little bit. Go ahead and start the track over and listen to the S's in his voice. And right now it should sound slightly mushy. So let's go ahead and hit play. And now everything should kind of click together. So I don't know if you guys could hear that. If you could, cool. If not, well, sorry. There's only so much you could do. You know, recording car audio on a phone, even with a better microphone, you know, still recording and then going to, you know, being played whatever you're playing it back on. So just a lot of variables and a lot of things to go wrong in there. So that's basically what we're looking at. And then you're going to do the same thing for each set of speakers. And once that goes to once that gets everything in phase with each pair, then you can go through each set and get like the tweeters in phase with the mids, and the mids in phase with your mid bass if you have some. Same thing with the subwoofer. And I'll show you a cool trick to get the subwoofer in phase and make it sound like it is right up on the dash instead of way back behind you. So we'll talk about that in a little bit later. Basically, when you're going to get your speaker sets in phase with each other. Now this is cool on the new Helix software because you can actually make a delay group. So now that my tweeters are in phase with each other, I can assign them to group 1. And that way when I move one, it will move both of them. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my mids in phase with each other. And then once those are in phase, I can move the tweeters or move the mids slightly either way to try and get the tweeters and the mids playing together. Again, you're listening for the same sharpness in the voice. Sometimes you can start hearing the smacking of when their lips are talking. That's really cool, really good. Make sure that those are in phase with each other. Everything should just kind of sound more natural, more focused. Sometimes you'll get your voice, it'll sound like this, and then as you start getting it in phase, it'll start getting really small and sound like it's kind of coming from a pinpoint in the middle or, you know, wherever on the stage that may be. But that's what you want, is that kind of the pinpointed focus. Now, you don't want it too focused, but that's kind of really nitpicking, and that causes other issues with staging and whatnot. But that's a subject way down the road, more advanced. But for now, like I said, just wanted you want it to be sound centered. You want them to sound on top of each other. You don't want to, when you're listening to somebody's voice, the O's and the stuff like that are a lot lower in their in the frequency band compared to like S's and F's, stuff like that. You'll hear their voice, they're talking, and they say something, whatever it may be, but when they're the voice is here, then you hear an S sound, and you'll hear it shift one way or the other. Now again, you can fix that with time alignment, or you can fix that with levels. Either way, levels is usually easier, especially if it's only a few inches either way. So you can go ahead and bring those together. If you're say your mids are playing here when they're in the middle, and but your tweeters are over here. When you hear that S sound, you'll hear their stage kind of shifting to one side or the other. And you can kind of use whatever's closer to the middle. Use the other one, obviously, whatever one's farther away, and use levels to kind of bring them on top of each other, so all the sounds are coming from the same point, high to low frequencies. We're right around that 11-minute mark, 10-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and get these in phase with each other and all the other sets, and see you guys for the next one. We're kind of cruising down my little cheat sheet here. Right now we're on number 6 for time alignment. 5 was the first set, 6 is going to be the second set for time alignment. And then we're going to move on to EQing each driver and driver pairs for start working on the EQ and get those rolling. So take it easy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, subscribe to make sure you get updates for the new videos. And if you guys have any comments, questions, put them in the comment section. I'm going to try and keep up to date on it. And like I said, I know there's 1,000 different ways to do tune a car for sound quality. This is just the way I do it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and keep tuning.